Hey everyone, this is D, Movieman, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. So today I'll be reacting to the trailer for The United States vs. Billie Holiday, directed by Lee Daniels and starring Andra Day and Javante Rhodes. Let's get into it.
Don't you know who this is? She was thinking of something more special.
I'm downright flashy, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Billie Holiday.
Reporters keep asking me, Billie, why you do the things you do? This is what I tell them.
All loving me.
We love you.
When I take off
NAACP says Billie Holiday is the voice of our people.
I think we should integrate the audience for this show. Let's change it up a little bit. You know, blacks and whites sitting together.
You knew what you were getting yourself into when you decided to come on the road.
Get out my goddamn clothes.
I'm gonna take everything except your bra and your panties.
Which one of my songs is your favorite song?
Strange Fruit.
Yeah, it's a song about important things, you know. Things that are going on in the country.
This holiday woman's causing a lot of people to think the wrong things.
It's a starting gun for this so-called civil rights movement.
Those lyrics provoke people.
Y'all got a plan?
Of course they do.
Exactly. I cut Strange Fruit.
I want to sing the damn song.
It's for your own good, okay?
I sing what the fuck I want.
Oh. All right.
southern trees
Get her off that stage.
bear strange fruit.
They won't let me sing nowhere. No clubs, no money, no nothing. You gotta understand, baby, right now I'm in a situation.
You said we could beat this, Billy.
I need some now.
Blood on the leaves
You're like a hammer. Come right back and it hit harder than before.
and blood.
She's singing it for all of us. Ain't no other Negro star bold enough to do it.
Black bodies swinging
I'm being followed. I'm not gonna cower to no feds.
in the southern breeze.
She's made something of herself and you can't take it because she's strong, beautiful, and black.
Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees.
You think I would stop singing that song? You grandkids will be singing Strange Fruit.
Yes. 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 Oh man. Wow. Yeah, that last line really got me, but it looks really good. So for my background on this one, my introduction to Billie Holiday was of course the classic film Lady Sings the Blues, made in 1972, starring Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams, and produced by Motown. And I think that film really blew me away when I saw it. I think I might have been in middle school, and it was such a raw film. The performances literally jumped off of the screen, and I had never really seen a depiction of drug abuse and drug addiction in that manner. So it actually was a little scary for me, but I love the performances. I love that Diana Ross was willing to put her all into it. I think her performance was phenomenal, and this very easily could have been a vanity project where she just was wearing these vintage clothes and singing and looking pretty, but she went there. There are so many scenes in that film that are memorable and stand out because of how unflinchingly real they are, how they commit to really showing how ugly and self-destructive drug addiction can be. And I think that Diana Ross's performance completely captured that. That film was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Actress in a Leading Role for Diana Ross. Like I said, absolutely well deserved. She did an awesome job in that film. And then from there, I was able to learn a lot more about her legacy as a blues singer, as a jazz singer, as the first lady of the blues, as someone who was so beautiful and so talented but led such a tortured life. And the irony of the fact that she sang about the blues, but in so many ways, her life life was the blues. She lived the blues every day of her life, which was so sad. But ironically, that pain that she experienced in her own life is what made her music so real, so vibrant, so resonant, because it was something that she knew. It was literally her life, and she sang it because she knew it. There's also a very well-known play called Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, and it basically is a concert style of play, but it also is recounting some aspects and some events in Billie Holiday's life. Audra McDonald starred in the 2014 Broadway production of the play, and it is her performance in that production that won her record-breaking 6th Tony Award. There also is a really great documentary about Billie Holiday directed by James Erskine that was released recently, so you guys can definitely check that out. So there's a lot of really great content out there about Billie Holiday, and I'm glad that even after all these years, her name is something that is not forgotten and is still talked about, still resonates with people today, and I'm really happy to see that. You guys know how I feel about period pieces, so I'm happy to see the style, the costumes, the music, all of that depicted. It's something that's always enjoyable for me to see, especially all the work that goes into recreating these time periods and these eras. So naturally, I'm excited about that. I'm also really excited to see Andra Day's performance. I remember I was watching a movie with one of my friends, and before the movie came on, they were playing all these commercials, and they briefly played a clip of this song called Rise Up. And as soon as we heard it, my friend and I looked at each other like, who is that? Because as soon as we heard her voice, we were like, whoa. So of course, naturally, I ended up looking her up, and I realized what a talented singer she is. And I love that she's making her acting debut here. And from what I can see, it looks like she's really like giving her all into this performance. As soon as she started singing Strange Fruit, I got chills. It brought so much of the power of that song back as I was listening to her. So when it comes down to the director, I can really take or leave Lee Daniels, and more often I can leave him. I appreciate that there are some stories centered around Black people that he's willing to tell, and I appreciate that he was willing to make this story about Billie Holiday. But I just think when it comes to his overall direction, his style, a lot of things, I'm good. And there are other reasons, but overall, I'm good on Lee Daniels. I appreciate that the story is being told, but that's about it. I was also really happy to see Javante Rhodes. He made his big film debut in Moonlight, which was a great film. His performance in it was great as well. I enjoyed him in Bird Box. I've enjoyed seeing all the things that he's done post Moonlight, and I'm glad that he's a part of this as well. I'm also really intrigued to see Natasha Lyonne as Tallulah Bankhead. There are some people who may not know this, but Billie Holiday was a bisexual woman, and Tallulah Bankhead was a woman that she had an extensive relationship with. So this is something new that hasn't been depicted in a lot of the films about her. So I'm really interested in seeing what that relationship is going to look like, what Natasha Lyonne's performance is going to look like as Tallulah Bankhead. I remember initially seeing her in the American Pie film series, but she's done so many films, so many TV projects since then, including Orange is the New Black. And I'm really interested in seeing what she's going to bring to this role. And of course, I was also happy to see Miss Lawrence. Some of you may know him from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. He is a singer, he is a hairstylist, he is an actor. He was previously in the series Star, directed by Lee Daniels, and he also had an appearance on the show Empire, also directed by Lee Daniels. And the fact that he's part of this really put a big smile on my face. I'm really happy for him. And it's been really cool seeing how his career has blown up from Real Housewives of Atlanta all the way to now. I'm excited for all the things he's done in the industry, and I hope he just continues to have more opportunities. I think naturally this is going to draw comparisons to Lady Sings the Blues, but I feel like this is a completely different story, completely different take. This is not even necessarily about Billie Holiday's life, but this is about a very specific circumstance that she went through. It's centered around a very pivotal part of her career that she had to experience, and it also, of course, deals with the crackdown on drugs in the US. I think the perspective of this film is really interesting, and the story that it's telling. This is based on a book called Chasing the Scream, The First and Last Days of the War on Drugs, and that book was written by Johann Hari. And historically, the war on drugs was a global campaign that was led by the US federal government, and their aim was basically to reduce the illegal drug trade in the United States. And that's not something that was directly referenced in Lady Sings the Blues, and so I'm really interested in seeing how it's going to tell that story. Also, the fact that this film is centered around the iconic, legendary song Strange Fruit. As many of us might know, that song was a direct reference to the lynching of Black Americans, especially in the South. and the fact that she was willing to take that on and shed light on that and bring that to the world, and the fact that she was willing to bring that song to the forefront, knowing what it meant, knowing that it was shedding light on a very real and pressing issue, is just another reason why she'll always be remembered as one of the greatest. Because that song in its own way helped push the civil rights movement forward. There were so many different people taking a stand and using their platform to speak out, and Billie Holiday was a person who was willing to do that with her voice. So I'm very intrigued by the fact that this film is telling the story of her attempting to bring that song to the world, and then these attempts to basically silence her and derail her career simply because she is shedding light on the killings of Black Americans, which is really nothing new because that is Black history, that is American history in a nutshell. And as I've said before, that is a history that has not necessarily changed as much as we think from then all the way to now. I'm really glad to see that Billie Holiday is still very much in the mainstream, and that there still are stories and narratives being written about her, and that so much of her legacy and who she was is still being celebrated and acknowledged. And since I have Hulu, I am so glad that it'll be premiering there February 26th. So I will definitely be watching, and I will be sure to let you guys know my thoughts. So once again, this is D, Movieman, signing off, and I'll see you at the movies.